Kia ora. My name is Jano Jayaprasad Samuel. My student ID is 300232448. Today I am going to explain about the infectious disease which is cholera. Cholera was found from Sanskrit language back in India. It was in 5th century. The disease has existed on the Indian continent more than a centuries. In 1870, the first outbreak it took in India. Cholera spread beyond the Indian subcontinent. There was a sixth pandemic between 1817 and 1923. Between 1849 and 1854, John Snow, the scientist from London, proposed that cholera was a communicable disease. And now I'm going to explain about the case and clinical definition. Cholera is a bacterial disease which usually spread through contaminated water. Cholera causes severe diarrhea and dehydration. Sometimes it may cause nausea and vomiting too. It can cause electrolytes imbalance too sometimes, and the cause of the bacteria is called Vibrio cholera. And bacteria produce toxin in our small intestine which cause diarrhea and water loss in our body. And this is called electrolytes imbalance, water loss. In this descriptive epidemiology section, I am going to explain about the person and time and place which took part in 1831 England. In 1854, it was an epidemic issue, time of cholera in London, England. It killed more than 600 people in England. They even called us Broad Street Pump and Dr. Snow. Dr. Snow was noticed the cholera cases was near to the Broad Street community pumps. What he did was that he drew a map to identify the pumps in the street. The interesting thing was that he found the cholera cases who stayed near to the pumps got affected other than the local community. Comparing to the previous study, this was the best study was done by Dr. Snow, which changed the world. And people became more depression when the epidemic took place in London. Now I'm going to explain about the analytic research study which was performed in November 2003, and this was performed in India and the state name called Orissa. In total, they recruited more than 73 cases. In the 23 were male and the remaining 40 cases was female. And what happened, the 40 cases were using the water from the suspected well which was infected by Vibrio cholera. And the research team was noticed that the cause of this infection comes from the people who washed their clothes and faces in the well. Because of this reason only, the Vibrio cholera started spreading each and every well in that area. So at last, the research team has taken the action immediately to evacuate all those issues there. The first thing what they did, they cleaned the well with chlorinated water, and the second thing, they have warned the community. Also, they have given the education about cholera and prevention to the people and also some of the community members. And finally, they work with the district community to construct the new well. And looking at the health outcomes from this analytic study, people they have got a lot of resources from the research team like drinking water sources, and the infected people, it was drastically reduced within 28 days of period. And everybody received the water source. This was the strength for this study. And the weakness, there are many of them, they got affected during this research process. Talking about the strength and the weakness, the research team had a confirmation from the laboratory diagnosis about the cholera, and the diagnosis was confirmed using rectal swab testing method. They also treated patients with dehydration, also infected cholera patients, and overall this outbreak helped them to study more about the cholera and epidemiology method and learn more about the public health action. The research team pointed out some of the important information about cholera, and monitoring and proper hand hygiene method and not to wash the clothes and face near to the well. These are the preventive strategy what they taught to the public sector. They have given the report about the research saying that the people need more safer and protected wells needed in Orissa, India in order to control and prevent the cholera in longer term. The use of this analytic epidemiology study will help them to investigate further in the future. Now I'm going to explain about the epidemic curve data. And what is epidemic curve data? Epidemic curve data explain about the geographical data and how people they got affected and how it has increased and what all the prevention strategies they took to prevent the disease. Everything we can see in the chart. Usually it's come with a bar chart or some map chart. And here I have a chart which took part in Orissa, which I was explaining before the incident happened. And this is just 28 days epidemic curve chart, and this is the chart, and these are the numbers and date. 10, 11, 12, 13 is the date, and these are the numbers of the patient who's getting affected, and these are the bar chart. So how they will calculate, and usually they used to write the year here and number of cases here, and how they used to calculate this. And they will start from the beginning 10, and after the procedure invented they will check the data on 13th, and this is the peak section where more people got affected in this and how it has decreased, and after the prevention control strategy and how it has decreased, and in the end after the prevention control and it's decreased totally. These are the explanation about epidemic chart, and I have another one chart to explain about the incident which happened in China. This is the epidemic chart, is from the cholera outbreak which took place in China. The place name is Gar. In 2014 it happened. And looking at this epidemic curve chart, here they have mentioned the date, and this is exactly 1 year epidemic curve chart. And here what they mentioned, 23 weeks no confirmed case. So which means more than 23 weeks starting from the January, there is no confirmed cholera case in China Gar. And the first case was detected in 9 June. So here you can see the bar chart. The first case was detected here, so they have mentioned clearly. And after 2 or 3 weeks, the cases are something similar. And after the prevention and the control strategy invented, there was a death rate, and here the red dot is mentioning death and the blue is mentioning the cases. So the June 24, the red death rate has started, and after that each and every week people they started dying because of the cholera infection. And finally in between 25th August it reached the peak level. So this is the highest level number of cases and number of death in this whole epidemic chart. And what happened after this incident, they invented some other strategies to prevent cholera, and it has decreased December 1st totally. So it steadily decreased, and in the end you can see the different. December 22 there was a little cases and the deaths, and also in between before the December 4 or 5 week period there was no death, only the cases. So all we are treated easily because of the prevention method. This is the another epidemic curve chart which is explain about each and every country, the patient who were affected by cholera, and this report has been released by WHO, World Health Organization. So now looking at this chart here, these are the cases and these are the years. The years are starting from 1989 to 2016. And each and every country has different colors, like Africa green and Asia yellow and America violet and Oceania is blue color. So here if you look at the bar charts, we can see the Oceania with light blue, and we can see the America with lot of cases, and the yellow chart with less cases, which is from Asia, and the remaining from Africa. So here what happened in the year 1989, it started with less patient in each and every country. America was not yet involved in 89, but in 1991 America was involved and they got a lot of cases and they have no idea how it started. And in 1992 also it was less patient with other countries, and in between America they took the preventive strategy method and they reduced all those things, and in the end it's better compared to all those years. It's because of the prevention method it decreased a lot. So this epidemic curve explain about the countries with the cholera patients. These are the descriptive epidemiology and analytic study, also epidemic curve geographical data. Thank you.